My name is Darren Shepherd. I'm the Managing Director and Musical Director of Fontaine Steel Orchestra. I'm also the founder and chairman of Fusion Steel Ensemble and Fusion Steel Orchestra. Fontaine started in 1965, and we really the band started as a group of young people in our community wanted to play sports and do positive things. And one Carnival Tuesday, there were some pans left on the coffee, and they took them. And the pans entered into our community, and the rest is history. Fortunately for them, Mr. Milton Wire Austin was already playing pan in another group, Maestros, and because his family is a family from this area which we call the Hole, and I'll explain the name Fontaine in a little bit. They reached out to him for some support after they recognized that they themselves was having some challenges, and they had two right side pan hang up together and wondering what was going on and that kind of thing. So they reached out to him later, and he gave them a list and told them, look, listen, all you need to get these things. When I get these things, I will know that all is serious, and then I'll come and help. And the rest is history. From 1965 to now, the band has never missed a panorama competition, has always been very active community-wise and otherwise, represented Trinidad and Tobago in various countries around the world, and continues to make a positive contribution to San Fernando and to Trinidad at large. The name Fontaine, I like to say, is a geographical indication of who we are as a band. Fonrose Street and Clare Street. You can't get better than that. From the time you hear that, you're supposed to know where we come from. We didn't go to a movie and watch a movie and decide on a name of our orchestra. We didn't go to Strand Cinema or Bosco Cinema and sit down and watch a war picture and decide that we name. We name represents our community, and still to this day, we are close to the community and close to San Fernando at large. We have the largest steel pan youth program in Trinidad and Tobago, and I dare say internationally. We deal with over 34 different groups from various schools, secondary schools, primary schools, special needs schools, churches, adult groups. We have an adult class here called Fontaine Gold and Steel. So we span a wide range of involvements. We have children here from 4 years old in our Fontaine Tiny Mites group, 4 to 8. Then we have Fontaine Beginners, which is young people who've never played before. We have Fontaine Intermediates, if you're coming with some experience or you pass through the Beginners program. Then we have Fontaine Stage Side, Junior Stage Side, which mirrors our Senior Stage Side, which is the group that performs and represents the band throughout the year. They are also the nucleus of the band for Junior Panorama, and they are of course preparing for Junior Panorama as we speak. So our programs here is all encompassing. You're sitting in our computer lab at present, which is a space donated by the Digicel Foundation, and we utilize this space. Our kids come and do research, do their homework when they come to the panyard, etc., etc. We have a book exchange program where people bring in their old books, and they can exchange it for books for their new school year. We also have a very large program where we collect books and stationery, and a book drive that we share to various students. Last year we did over 160 young people receive bags and stationery, and we actively support about 12 kids in their day-to-day school life. So we do more than just play pan here, and we're proud of that. We are viewed now as the training ground in South, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because when you train them and they get a little good, people start marking them. So we keep doing the work and building brand awareness and brand loyalty and teaching our young people how to really appreciate the national instrument and working together. We have a vacation program that is not just about coming to play pan. Out of that vacation program, we have developed the Frontline Youth Steel Pan Festival, where we showcase the work of our young arrangers and our young tutors who now tutor and arrange for various schools and various youth groups that come to the Panyard. And we have a big show in Naparima Bowl. We started off with 2 days. Last year was 3 days. This year is 4 days. So we have 1 day where we have schools that exist outside of the Frontline space, that we have Frontline people go to those schools and train them. And then we have a soloist night. All our young soloists are given the opportunity to play with a professional jazz band. Who at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old gets that type of opportunity. It certainly wasn't me in my time. So that is a beautiful night experience. And then the next 2 days is groups that perform, practice in the Frontline space, trained by Frontline tutors, trained by Frontline arrangers, and they all play on the same set of instruments. So you'll come the first day of the festival and you might hear St. Gabriel's play, and then to close the festival you'll hear Frontline stateside play, and they're all performing on the same instruments, which is a great ease in terms of cost. Steel bands have to find creative ways to manage costs. In my opinion, while you do the work, the competition is another event on your calendar. It might be the largest event, but if you've been through the ups and downs like we have been, then you know you cannot peg your survival against the competitions only. We are a band that is not as well funded as the bands the north of us. So when I fighting with 3, then I'm fighting with 1 million. So it's a different type of fight. It's like you're going to a heavyweight competition and you're lightweight money. However, we have found creative ways over the years to ensure that we could compete and compete to the highest possible level. The band is in a transition phase. We have a lot of young players, and that comes with its own unique challenges. When you look at some of the bands, other bands, you would look and see mature people who have been playing with the band for 40, 50 years in some cases. We have young people here who make a good 5 years in Frontline or a good 5 years playing the instrument, but their output thus far is tremendous, and the support from their parents is amazing. Because back in my time, even though I grew up in this community and pan was always part of my environment, my mom wasn't too pleased when her 7-year-old would run away and come down to the Panyard. Now we have parents and grandparents coming and sitting down and taking in a full rehearsal, dropping the kids, picking them back up, etc., etc. So the thing has evolved significantly, and the band has evolved. It has left from being a band of adults to a band of young people. In any given week, at least 500 children pass through this Panyard, and that in itself is amazing. Understanding clearly that all might end up being Frontline players, but all will develop a greater awareness for the national instrument and all the pros and cons that come with playing the instrument. So we might get a player, but we might get somebody who might end up in a position somewhere years after and say, well, you know, I used to play pan, let me buy 2 tickets, or let me support this event. I might be an executive in a company and I'm sympathetic to pan because I had that experience. And some steel band gets support for Panorama or some other event that they might not have gotten if that person was not aware and exposed to the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago. So we're doing work that for the next few decades could impact the movement.